Okay, folks. Welcome to this video. Now, before I begin, let me clear something up. For those that were on my channel, you might have seen that my last video I posted was blocked out. Now, the reason why it's blocked out because I've got hit with a copyright strike for some apparent reason. Okay, for some apparent reason, I don't know who it is. It could be anybody, right? It could be one of the people from the videos I responded to. It could be one of these people that keeps commenting on my videos, trying to argue with me over and over again about the same thing, which you're not gonna get me to change my response at all. You're not gonna get me to change how I feel or my opinion about it. Or it could be somebody from these other YouTube videos, because for some apparent reason, since I've been doing since Kofi Kingston became champion, since he got that WWE title at WrestleMania, people act like Kofi Kingston is the only one that's ever achieved anything that's been black. That, like, if you go on YouTube, you can see many videos of people trying to say there has never been a black WWE champion. You keep seeing people trying to say, act like they has not. They act like The Rock ain't black enough. The Rock is not black at all, and they act like Mark Henry, Ron Simmons, and Booker T, because they didn't get the WWE title by itself, that they don't matter. That World Heavyweight Championship don't count. But I'm here to tell you, man, that's a freaking lie. That's a lie. Okay, again, man, and I'm on record saying this. I'm not against Kofi Kingston winning that championship or having it, but you can't put Kofi Kingston on a high pedestal. You can't say that you can't be. It can't be like Kofi Kingston, the only one that's ever achieved that type of success, and you not give these other black world champions credit. Okay, now in the last video that got blocked, okay, I basically showed y'all evidence which proves the titles is undisputed. The WWE title by itself and the World Heavyweight Championship are both undisputed. Okay, they combined. They're both the same, and I also proved to you that The Rock actually was black. He is black. Back then in the 1990s, during the Attitude Era, when after the Nation of Domination broke up, he went under the corporation. The Rock looked like a black man. The Rock represented a black man. The man had the sideburns, the hair, all that, right? And I just showed you the two movies The Rock did long before Kevin Hart was around. Long before right before Vin Diesel had The Rock on Fast and the Furious movie. I actually show y'all this on the other video. But again, it's blocked, right? It's got blocked. Somebody didn't want me to show y'all that. I'll show y'all how far back that World Heavyweight Championship goes. Visually, right? Somebody could not stand for me to show y'all that. Right? There's somebody trying to stop me from revealing the truth. Because once again, the truth hurts. And for those of you who have been subscribed to this channel, you know that I go against the grain. For those of you who have been watching my videos, if you notice, you will never see me talking about the same type of stuff other people are talking about, right? When it comes to the Illuminati, it comes to homosexuality, it comes to religion, I got a different point of view of how I see things. Okay? Because unlike everybody else, I'm not one of these people who's going to follow along with the program and go along with the same old thing, the same narrative, without having evidence that this is really true, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, when people say sports are scripted, I'm the ones that say, no, it's not. When people talk about the Illuminati, no, I prove that theory false. Because I know who the true Illuminati is, right? When it comes to truth about hip-hop, I'm not about to believe what G.K. Lewis is telling me, because it's a freaking lie. Right? I know that each and every last one of those artists are people who live everyday lives like you and I. Right? So again, this whole thing with The Rock not being black, okay, Kofi Kingston being the first black WWE champion, that's a lie. That's false. Since whoever this was want to stop me, then put me on the block my other video, right? You and hit me with a copyright strike. In this video, I'm finna do the same thing I did in the last video, but I'm finna do it in a different way. Because in this video, I'm finna do this Bible study style, right? I'm finna start preaching. I'm finna do it like you would in church, right? Like you at a service. Because now I'm finna have you follow along with me in your Google phones. And I'm finna show you which side I am through Google. And you can follow along with me. And I'm gonna basically, and in this video, I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna post a link in the description where I got my information from. Okay? Because again, you black folks that's watching this video, y'all need to research. Y'all need to read, okay? Because I understand, man, there's two types of fans in WWE, in wrestling, period. There's the traditional fans who watch wrestling from top to bottom, right? They've been watching this since they were kids. Wrestling fans like myself and others, right, who've been watching this since they was like 6, 7, 8 years old. They've been watching it from the very beginning, so they know everything that's going on. They know who won every title. They can name all the belts. They know who's currently on the roster and who's not wrestling no more, right? You got those wrestling fans, right? The wrestling fans that's been watching wrestling for years. Then you got the wrestling fans who only watch wrestling either for the pay-per-views or at WrestleMania. Okay? So this is the issue, right? Some like me, I've been watching wrestling since 96, all right? I've been watching WCW and WWE at the, those same nights. When you had Nitro and you had Monday Night Raw. I know all about the Monday Night Wars, okay? So everything I'm finna tell y'all is validated. This is the truth, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and lie to none of y'all. That's not how I roll, okay? And you can ask all my subscribers, they'll tell you, man, a lot of my videos have some truth behind it. So I must be doing something right if somebody gonna choose to block my last video and hit me with a copy strike. So you know who you are, right? You are a punk ass. I'm not gonna say the word bitch, okay? I'm gonna try to keep it clean. But you know who you are. That was a punk move. Whoever blocked me on YouTube, because by the way, I talked to WWE already. They emailed me. I talked to them. I got their number where I can call them. They actually sent me links where I can have some discussions. WWE told me in the email they sent me, right? They say they have no control over what YouTube copyright strike. They don't have no control over what YouTube feels they're going to copyright, right? So in other words, the person who made that claim wasn't part of WWE. They just made the claim doing under the WWE title. But WWE themselves didn't block my video. Because again, you can look at there's hundreds of videos on YouTube where people that's not even working for the company that's using WWE's content, right? You got other channels that's using the WWE content and using it against them. And using actual footage and using that against WWE. Claiming racism. Saying wrestlers not treated fairly. They treated wrong. Saying they give us a racist. All kinds of stuff, right? I've been the only one defending WWE. I've been defending Vince McMahon and Triple H because they both innocent in this case, right? And again, y'all can look on my channel. I got people in these comment sections, you know what I'm saying, disagreeing with me, right? The only reason why I responded to Jeff from RT Central because I don't agree with that whole video he did on 6 black wrestlers that were held back that should be WWE champions. Everybody can't be champion like that. I'm sorry, man. Those 6 wrestlers aren't Mark Henry, Ron Simmons, or Booker T. Okay? They're not even where Kofi Kingston is. Kofi Kingston has more popularity than those 6 wrestlers. All right? And again, it's not just because he's a 6-time, he's a 5-time. Again, man, Kofi Kingston is a 5-time tag team champion with the New Day. New Day alone is popular, right? Y'all gotta understand it, man. Kofi Kingston is a very popular wrestler. So it's easier to put a storyline behind him. But again, I'm gonna explain this down the line. But I just want to clear it up right now. Whoever blocked my video, y'all not gonna stop me from putting out the truth. Now, if you got a problem with my channel, if you try to block my channel, I'm gonna call my lawyer. Alright, I got lawyers too. Just let you know, I got an attorney. I got people I can call up right now that will fight for me in court if y'all want to take it there, right? So if you got a problem with me, please, you can email me. You can contact me. Okay, we can sell this man to man. We can exchange phone numbers. We can have a talk to talk. And you ain't gotta go behind my back and block me. You ain't gotta try to block my videos from being out there. If that's the case, that means you're feeling guilty about it, right? But now, with that out the way, let me continue where I left off, right? Because the last video I posted, I'm gonna show you this in a different way, right? So now I want everybody that's listening to this video. As I now continue, man, I'm finna explain to you why Kofi Kingston is not the first black WWE champion, okay? I'm gonna clarify that. I'm gonna show you why the World Heavyweight Championship is the oldest belt in the industry. The WWE title by itself is not the most prestigious title. It's just not. They did not put that WWE title above the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm gonna show you how far back that World Heavyweight Championship goes. And I'm going to show you why both titles are undisputed and why they're currently undisputed. The title Kofi Kingston has is the belt title that Brock Lesnar defeated Randy Orton in TLC match back in 2014 after Daniel Bryan had to give up both of those titles. Remember, Daniel Bryan was undisputed champion at WrestleMania. He defeated both Batista and Randy Orton. It was basically Evolution. WrestleMania 2014 was basically Daniel Bryan versus Evolution. And everybody knows the night after, Batista threw that tantrum like he always does. He chose to quit. And then he started going into his movies like he always does. All right, we all know that. Randy Orton stayed in the company. But again, man, that was the last time Randy Orton had both of those belts. All right. So again, let me rephrase that again. This video, I'm going to show you what I've been trying to explain to you on my other video. But now I'm going to do it another way, right? Because I can't show you where I am visually. I can't bring up no W content because I don't want to get hit with another copyright strike. But now I'm going to show you, I'm going to have you follow with me. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about through my links. And I'm going to describe to you what I'm looking, because I got my phone here, right? So now you see I got the phone. So now I want you, who's ever following with me, I want you to turn on your phones to Google, and I want you to type in the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, right? Type in the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, because now I'm finna explain to y'all how both titles are undisputed and where they came from, right? So first of all, let's start off with the definition of the WWE Championship, right? This is on Wikipedia again, man. All this information you can find on Google, right? I do my research, all right, before I make my videos. I don't just go out making videos just to make them know. I clarify my information. If you don't believe me, you can go look for yourself, right? So what is the WWE Championship? The WWE Championship is a World Heavyweight Championship created and promoted by the American Professional Wrestling Promotion, right? WWE. So again, it's a World Heavyweight Championship, okay? When Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, matter of fact, when Triple H went on an interview with Michael Cole, the man explained that he no longer wanted 2 belt titles anymore, right? So again, yeah, the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE title was once 2 separate titles, right? But they were main event championships. So again, Booker T, Ron Simmons, or Booker T and Mark Henry, Mark Henry, when he was wrestling in the WWE, in his last, when he was still in his prime, the man won the World Heavyweight Championship when he was on the WWE. Remember, WWE bought off WCW, meaning they own that belt. They own rights to that belt title, okay? So again, y'all gotta understand this, all right? Y'all gotta understand if the World Heavyweight Championship was a main event title, then how is the WWE title, you know what I'm saying, above the World Heavyweight Championship if it was a main event title? Remember, the World Heavyweight Championship represents Raw, and the WWE Championship represents SmackDown. So back in the day when it was first separated brands, the wrestlers that was on Raw had to compete for one title, where the wrestlers SmackDown had to compete for the other title, right? And it alternated, right? So again, those are main event titles. Those are the biggest titles you can win on both brands, on either brand, right? So now, look at the World Heavyweight Championship, just the World Heavyweight Championship by itself. And it says, the Unified Championship retained the lineage of the WWE Championship. So once again, let me read that again. The Unified Championship retained the lineage of the WWE Championship, and the World Heavyweight Championship was retired with the victory over John Cena and Randy Orton, became the final World Heavyweight Champion, right? So yes, that World Heavyweight Championship was retired, but it's unified. It's a unified championship. But then, yeah, they don't have the World Heavyweight Championship, but the World Heavyweight Championship now is combined with the WWE title, right? So let's look at the World Heavyweight Championship, right? Because yeah, man, they don't call it World Heavyweight Championship. It's not a title by itself. It's basically it's now the WWE Championship, right? They combine it. It's unified. They just said unified title. Okay, the original World Heavyweight Championship. Okay, yeah, that's in the Hall of Fame, just like the original WWE title was in the Hall of Fame, right? So okay, so title was established on the Raw brand in 2002 after Raw and SmackDown became distinct brands under WWE. So again, Raw and SmackDown being separate brands, that ain't the first time, okay? So let me read to you right. That ain't the first time. This goes back since 2002, right? But treating both brands on different occasions, mainly as a result of the WWE draft until August 29, 2011, when all programming became full roster super shows. The World Heavyweight Championship was retired at TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs on December 15, 2013, when it was unified with the WWE Championship. So again, unification, meaning combined. They combined the title in with the WWE title, right? Triple H was the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion, with Randy Orton being the last, right? The title was one of 6 to be represented by the historic Big Gold Belt, first introduced in 1986. Its heritage can be traced back to the the first World Heavyweight Championship, therefore giving the belt over 100 years old, the oldest in the world, right? Let me say that again. The title was one of 6 to be represented by the historic Big Gold Belt. So again, they talking about that NWA belt. First was introduced in 1986. Its heritage can be traced back to the first World Heavyweight Championship. So let's look at where the first World Heavyweight Championship came from, right? The Professional World Heavyweight Championship, created in 1905 to identify the best catch as catch-can wrestler in the world, right? World Heavyweight Championship, World Heavyweight Wrestling Championships. Again, I'm looking at the original belt. That was created May 4, 1905. It retired July 24, 1957. So that's the first belt. right? Let's see the company that so the subsequent legacy of the championship is not linear, with the championship being disputed amongst various promotions until the formation of the NWA. So again, National Wrestling Alliance, that was in 1948. All right, so again, that belt. So how could that? So how could the World Wrestling Federation belt? Yeah, I'm going back to the Federation days because that's where the WWE came from, right? How could that belt be more prestigious over that World Heavyweight Championship? The World Heavyweight Championship existed before that WWE belt, right? Now let's look at the history, the origin. So we go down to 9, right? So WWE introduced this World Heavyweight Championship in 2002 by Eric Bischoff, awarding Triple H the inaugural championship reign on September 2nd. However, its origin attributed the first World Heavyweight Championship, and then 2 events that began in the National Wrestling Alliance. Again, that's NWA. NWA came before WWF and WCW. Okay, promotion, which NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, which had many different territorial promotions as members. In the late 1980s, the World Championship Wrestling (WCW) was a member of the NWA, having been formed by the purchase of Jim Crockett Promotions (JCP), which had absorbed many other NWA members, by Turner Broadcasting, which aired WCW's programming. During the time, WCW used NWA World Heavyweight Championship as its world title. So again, that title's going far back. Okay, there's history behind that title. So awarded the NWA World Heavyweight Championship Ric Flair. Okay, in 1991 and 1993, WCW succeeded from NWA and grew to become the rival promotion as the World Wrestling Federation, itself a former member of the NWA. So again, WWF and WCW came from the NWA. Okay, when wrestling first started, there was the World Heavyweight Championship. The WWE title did not exist, right? Both organizations grew into mainstream prominence and were eventually involved in television ratings war dubbed the Monday Night Wars. Near the end of the ratings war, WCW began a financial decline when it accumulated in March 2001 with the WWF's purchase of the selected assets of WCW. Meaning, WWE bought off everything WCW owned. That means that World Heavyweight Championship, the United States title they brought in, okay? That World Heavyweight Championship WWF owns. Vince McMahon owned that belt, okay? For example, right? For those that watch the NFL, you watch basketball, right? You watch the NBA. When the Cleveland Browns became the Baltimore Ravens in the 96-97 season, right? 1996, the Baltimore Ravens basically took on the history of the Cleveland Browns. Same thing with the Supersonics, right? When the Supersonics moved to Oklahoma in 2008, 2009, everything the Supersonics was became with Oklahoma. Yes, Russell Westbrook never won a championship with Oklahoma since he been there, right? Since him and Durant been there, they didn't win a championship. But the Supersonics won the title back in the 70s. So the reason why the OKC Thunder have a championship is because that's the title the Supersonics won and brought over to Oklahoma. Okay? Same thing with the Browns. The original Cleveland Browns, that one that was Jim Brown played for in the 1950s, they won AFL titles. Those AFL titles went on to Baltimore, to the city of Baltimore. So when the Browns became the Ravens took on the history of the Browns. Thus, the Browns own all those AFL championships. But the Browns have 2 Super Bowls. This Cleveland Browns team you see today with Baker Mayfield, that's not the original Cleveland Browns. That's a expansion team that started off in 1999. Okay, so again, the same thing applies here. Okay, when the McMahons bought off WCW, they basically bought off the rights to that WCW championship. The WCW's history becomes theirs, meaning Ron Simmons, under the WWE brand, is a WWE World Heavyweight Champion, right? Mark Henry and Booker T are each WWE World Heavyweight Champions. Why? Because the belt is unified. Okay? That belt's history now belongs to that WWE Championship, right? And again, if y'all watch that interview that Triple H did, matter of fact, go on YouTube. I want you to go on YouTube, and I want you to type in the WWE Undisputed Championship, right? So I want you all to follow along with me, man. Let's do this together, right? Now I want you to type on the video. Triple H wants there to be one undisputed champion WWE. I need you to go look at that video on YouTube. Again, he explained the current championship you see now, That championship represents that NWA belt. It represents the World Heavyweight Championship and the original WWF title together, right? That's what I mean by, that's what I say, man. When it was when it all started, there was no WWF title. The World Heavyweight Championship was defended first. Triple H knows the importance of that belt, okay? So this is why y'all gotta understand, man. They're both unified titles, all right? Now, let's get to the black part, right? Let's get to Kofi Kingston, right? Now, again, I told you before, man, I'm happy that Kofi Kingston is champion, but let's just remember, right? We can't act like Kofi Kingston is the only one that won this title when, again, you've had you had other black wrestlers who basically achieved that type of success. The black folks that's watching this video, y'all gotta stop putting Kofi Kingston on a high pedestal. You gotta stop acting like he the only one that ever won a WWE title, right? Since a lot of y'all say that The Rock is not black enough, The Rock is more Samoan than black, I want you to follow women, right? I want you to go on Google and I want you to type in The Rock in 1998, right? The Rock in the Attitude Era Rock. Let's go along, right? Because again, man, it's on Twitter, man. The Rock actually, you could look that up too. You can also look at The Rock. You can also type in The Rock and his black race, right? But let's look at The Rock, right? Let's look at some pictures. I want you to type in The Rock Attitude Era. Now I want you to look at the images. Okay? Again, man, y'all can't hardly see it, but you see right there, right? Now I want you to look at this picture here. You see, look at that picture there. Right? Now that's The Rock. Now notice, The Rock is wearing the black shades, right? He has the chain, he has the ice. The man has sideburns. Look at his haircut, right? Now that's the same haircut that a lot of black entertainers on TV was rocking, right? Martin Lawrence on his show was rocking that haircut. You had Smart Guy. For those that watch Disney Channel, Smart Guy, right? T.J. Henderson, he had the same haircut. T.J. Henderson's the same skin color, right? The same skin complexion, right? Look at Carlton Banks and look at Will Smith. Will Smith on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air had that same haircut with Jazz, right? Look at all the rappers from back in the day. They all wore that. Look at the basketball players like Scottie Pippen and Isaiah Thomas from the Pistons, right? They all had that same haircut, right? Notice the black vest and the belt buckle, right, with the pants. The Rock is looking like a brother. Look at the man got the wristband, right? The man is looking like a typical brother with money, right? The Rock, if you notice, Rock don't got none of that Islander stuff. He don't got none of that Samoan tattoos that he has now, right? Y'all gotta understand this. When The Rock was WWE champion in his first 5 runs, the man represented for his black side, okay? This is the same man that came from the Nation of Domination, which is a Islamic group. It's an all-black group, right? And yeah, it had a couple of Caucasians in there. You had Owen Hart, who was Canadian. You had Crush. But they were down for the movement, right? They were down. But again, initially, it was Godfather, Farouk, D'Lo Brown, and Mark Henry. Now, of course, I think Farouk went, again, I think they all went by different names. But again, yeah, The Rock went as Rocket Marvin when he debuted, but he changed his name to Dwayne Johnson. Why? Because the man is not full-blooded Samoan. It's hard for people to get behind The Rock having a Samoan gimmick because he's not full-blooded Samoan. So again, y'all gotta understand this. The same thing applies for the Samoan side, right? So y'all trying to say he's not 100% black, the man's not even 100% Samoan. Because if you look at how Rikishi dressed, you look at how Haku Fatu dressed, right? The one with the fro. That wrestled with Rikishi back in the early 90s, right? He was in WCW, went back to WWE. You look at the Usos. You look at Yokozuna, right? You look at Jimmy the Superfly Snuka. All these Samoan wrestlers, they are all full-blooded Samoan. They do not look like The Rock because they're not mixed with black. Okay, you gotta understand that. The Rock dressed like a brother. He has the haircut. That man will wear his hair long. Why? Because he's not full Samoan. Okay? The Rock has said it in his own words on Twitter, and I quote, "I am equally black and Samoan. I transcended race." You see, The Rock's parents raised him not to look at his skin color as a way to define him. The Rock says, "Look at me for what I've done as an individual. Don't look at me by my color. Look at me for what I've done. Judge me by my character." That's what The Rock is trying to say. He's black and Samoan. The Rock actually checked somebody on Twitter for saying that. So again, y'all cannot tell me, a kid growing up in Long Beach, California, watching The Rock since I was 6, 7 years old, The Rock was my role model. He was my hero. He was who I looked up to as a black man, right? He was like my black hero. right? The way he talks, the way he dominates the ring. I watched The Rock his whole life. And you guys, my family, I had all the Rock. I had The Rock's toys, had his clothes. Okay, I wore his glasses, his vest. You know what I'm saying? I would raise my eyebrow just to play around. I had most of all the video games he was in. All right, I had from his very first video game, which was WWE Warzone. I had that. I had WrestleMania 2000. I had No Mercy. I had WWF Attitude. I had all the SmackDowns. Right, the first three SmackDowns. I had all those before it became before I was Raw vs SmackDown. I had all of those. Right, that The Rock been in before he retired. Right. Okay, The Rock back then looked like a black man. Right, he didn't identify as a Samoan man. But again, he alternates between sides. This is why I don't believe what MVP was talking about. I'm going to get to MVP in a little bit too. Now, Jeff from ORT Central, right, says he want to say that ignorant ass comment on the video. He tried to say the only thing The Rock did for black people was when he doing moves with Kevin Hart. That's a damn lie. Now, I want you to go on your Google phone. I want you to type in the Scorpion King. Now, this was The Rock's very first movie. It was in 2002, right? This was the very first movie The Rock did when he started going to Hollywood. Because again, y'all got to understand this. The Rock was doing movies long before Kevin Hart became mainstream. Kevin Hart didn't become mainstream around 2004, right? When he dropped Soul Plane. Soul Plane came in between 2004 and 2005. That's when Kevin Hart started popping off. But when The Rock was in did the Scorpion King, I want you to look at his images, right? Look at the Scorpion King. The Rock did two movies. Well, he did two movies. He did the Scorpion King one, and then he did the Mummy Returns. Now, we all know that the Mummy Returns and the Scorpion King, those movies are based in Egypt. Egypt is located in Africa. And the real true Egyptians, and I'm talking about the true Egyptians from the very beginning. I'm not talking about these whitewashed ones you see in Hollywood, because that's a lie. No Egyptians were Caucasian at all. None of them. Okay, we all know Arnold Vosloo's character, he played the mummy. That wasn't a real pharaoh. Okay, that wasn't a real mummy. The real true Egyptians looked like The Rock, or they were dark skinned. They were either my color or darker, right? I want you to look at the Scorpion King. Look at these images, right? Again, The Rock does not look like no Phil Islander like that. He doesn't. He doesn't look like he wasn't wearing none of that Samoan stuff. Okay? Y'all gotta understand this, man. The man did that in Egypt, man. Those are African movies. Those movies are based in Africa. Egypt and Africa. And anybody that want to disagree with me, you can go look on the globe right now. You go look on the map and you can see it for yourself. Egypt is in Africa, right? The Rock did two of those movies. Around that time, he was also doing music with Wyclef Jean. That's true. You can look up that his songs with him and Wyclef he did together, right? The Rock does things, man. And again, man, The Rock was raised in a black household. His mom, who was Samoan, married a black man. That means when she married that black man, she took on that black man's last name. That means The Rock was raised in a black household. That man, The Rock's dad's side of the family are black. The Rock been raised around black relatives just as much as he's been raised around Samoan relatives, okay? So y'all need to give The Rock the same type of respect you give Barack Obama, because Barack Obama is Hawaiian and black. He's not full-blooded black. That man is black and Hawaiian. Again, Kofi, again, man, MVP was wrong in that video for that, right? But again, that's The Rock. The Rock, you know what I'm saying, The Rock was represented for his black people even back then. So y'all gotta understand this, man. To say The Rock ain't black just because you see him being more Samoan because the tattoos, y'all out of line for that, man. Y'all need to go read. Y'all need to go do your research. Now let's get to Montel Vontavious Porter, right? Because this is why I don't agree with MVP's video. And again, MVP, Montel Vontavious Porter, again, this is nothing against you, brother. Okay, man, I don't got no beef with you. I got nothing but respect for you because you did have a decent career. Okay, you know like I said, you was not that bad of a wrestler. Okay, but at the same time too, brother, I don't remember you ever winning the WWE title or the World Heavyweight Championship, right? For you to sit there and say that, for you to sit there and call people out, call fans out saying they need to shut up about debating about that WWE title and debating that The Rock is also a black man, you wrong for that. Because everybody got the right to opinion, right? But there's fans like me that's been watching WWE for years. And MVP, if I remember correctly, you wasn't around in 2002, 2003. You wasn't around when they unified each of those belts. Okay? Matter of fact, in 2014, when Triple H and Stephanie unified the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE title, and they just made one in the undisputed title, you was out there. If I remember correctly, brother, you was working in TNA. You was working for the other company. You was up there with AJ Styles, Robert Roode, okay? Eric Young, all those guys before they came to WWE, right? You was over there, right? I don't remember you ever winning any one of those belts. Yeah, you might have competed for those belt titles, but you didn't win any one of them, right? So how could you sit there and say that the World Heavyweight Championship does not matter, right? It's just the WWE Championship by itself. How can you sit there and say that when you don't know the importance of those titles? You know the importance of a World Heavyweight Championship. Because once again, brother, I'm looking on this now, and you never won that at all. Never, right? And again, man, I'm looking at you. Yeah, you challenged for the WWE Championship, but you never won it. I'm looking at this, man. Like, you not winning any belt title, right? So MVP, how could you disrespect it? How can you say these fans need to shut up about this topic, right? Yeah, MVP is a controversy. We have a problem because again, how could you put Kofi Kingston over the Rock? How do you say Kofi Kingston is the first black WWE champion when the Rock has done this how many times? If the championship titles are undisputed, that means Mark Henry, Ron Simmons, and Booker T have all won that belt too. Then, if that undisputed title is a part of that history, if that represents it, right? And again, MVP. And this is for those who watched Monday Night Raw 2 weeks ago. If y'all watched Monday Night Raw, when you had Roman Reigns, Vince McMahon on there, and you had Daniel Bryan, right? Daniel Bryan won his rematch clause, right? And then Kofi Kingston came out there by himself, and Kofi Kingston called himself the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. All right. If you watch that Raw again, Kofi Kingston calls himself a WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So again, MVP, if the World Heavyweight Championship died off, then why is Kofi Kingston calling himself a WWE World Heavyweight Champion? If it's died off, why on Google is it saying the WWE is an undisputed title? Why is it saying the WWE title is a World Heavyweight Championship if the World Heavyweight Championship has already died off, right? No, they didn't kill off that title. No, they didn't kill off the title. They combined it. They unified it. Yes, the original World Heavyweight Championship, that's been retired, but again, they made a new World Heavyweight Championship along with that WWE belt. That's a new belt. That's an undisputed belt. Okay? So again, man, this is, y'all listen to somebody on the interview who's never won neither title, right? MVP, you did not win the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championships because, again, so you don't know the principle of that World Heavyweight Championship. You don't know how much that means to people who've won it because you yourself are not an undisputed champion, right? So again, MVP, how could you say that? And MVP, how could you tell your son that The Rock gets to pick and choose his side, right? When The Rock has said out of his own mouth, I'm equally black as Samoan. Because MVP, did you ever have a talk with your son? You probably will be saying this down the line because MVP, let's face it, right? If The Rock was to ever get pulled over by these dirty ass cops, and I'm not talking about the good ones because all cops ain't bad, right? I understand that. There's police officers that are obeying the law. There's police officers trying to do the right thing, right? So MVP, this is just for you, right? I want you and the rest of the people that's hating on me to think about this, right? For all those who try to say The Rock is not black, he's more Samoan than black. I want you to think about this, right? So MVP, this is for you, right? Let me just throw this off analogy. Let's say The Rock was to get pulled over and harassed by some officers who happen to be Caucasian, who are racist, right? Who evil. And they want to harass The Rock. And let's say they wind up shooting The Rock. If The Rock was to ever get shot by these officers, right? Then what do you think they're going to label him as? Okay? I want you to think about that, right? No, matter of fact, MVP, let's go even deeper, right? Let's say The Rock ever gets accused for a rape, right? Or molestation, right? Let's say any one of these female wrestlers who were ever around The Rock during the time The Rock was active, right? Whether it be Jacqueline, Trish Stratus, Lita, okay? Tori Wilson. Both of the Tories, yeah, there was another Tori, that Xbox and Kane's girlfriend. That Tori, Stacy Keibler, all right? Mickie James. Any one of these female wrestlers, right? Or AJ Lee. Let's say any one of these female wrestlers was to come out in the open and said that The Rock actually touched them without their permission, right? He sexually molested them. And or if it's not one of these WWE divas, let's just say it was a female, right? From The Rock's past who came out here and said that The Rock got her pregnant and refused to claim a child, or The Rock sexually molested her and raped her, right? And they wind up getting the Me Too movement, and the Me Too movement starts vilifying The Rock. And let's say The Rock has to go to jail behind it, and he has to go to trial over a molestation charge. Then what color do you think they're gonna label The Rock? Are they gonna label The Rock Pacific Islander, or are they gonna label him black? So MVP, I want you to think about this, right? If The Rock ever goes to jail behind a rape charge, sexual molestation, right? Or let's say he ever goes to jail. Let's say he goes to jail behind an officer harassing him and trying to shoot him, right? He gets shot, right? Let's say he goes, or let's say he goes to court behind it, or he goes to jail behind any sexual molestation, DUI charge, or he gets into a fight with anybody, right? Or let's say he pulls out a weapon and attacks somebody, right? If The Rock ever goes to court before a judge, and MVP, this is for you and this is for everybody watch this video. I want y'all to look at me closely when I say this and understand the words that come out of my mouth. If The Rock ever goes to court, he's going to be labeled as a black man. He's going to be no different than Rodney King, O.J. Simpson, okay, Michael Jackson, and no matter how much Michael Jackson beats his skin, he was still a black man in the world's eyes, in the court of law, right? R. Kelly, Charlemagne the God, Bill Cosby. The Rock is going to be labeled amongst all those black men. All of them. The Rock will be no different than them. Because everybody in the world knows The Rock's daddy is black. The Rock's daddy is a black man. Okay? This is for all you idiots who don't get it. Yeah, all of you. The ones who've been on my videos coming, who disagree with me. All of you, right? This including Jeff from ORTS Citra, right? Yeah, you, Jeff. I hope all of you watching the video. EVP, this is for all of you, right? The Rock ever goes to court, he's going to be labeled as a black man. The news ever comes to Rock behind any type of scandal, whether he cheating on his wife, the magazine, anything, it's going to be a him. They're going to label him as a black man cheating on his wife. The Rock ever goes to prison for raping somebody, he's going to be a black man going to prison. The Rock ever gets murdered and killed out here in the street, like what happened to Nipsey Hussle, it's going to be a black man getting killed. He's going to be labeled as a black man, right? So if these officers ever was to decide they're going to harass The Rock and shoot The Rock, or decide they're going to kill The Rock for whichever reason, you're going to have Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam coming out there saying The Rock was a black man getting shot and killed. Alright? And again, I wish no harm of The Rock. Again, man, The Rock is my hero. I look up to The Rock, man. I appreciate The Rock in his career. But let's just be honest. If he goes to the court, he stand before the judge, the judge ain't going to be on, the judge going to consider him biracial, but the judge going to know that he's a black man. The media, they're going to use the black card against The Rock. That's what The Rock ever gets in trouble with the law. Whether it be having a gun illegally in his possession, doing drugs, okay, breaking the law, rape charge, anything, they're going to use the black card on The Rock. They won't say he's a Pacific Islander. They're going to say he's a black man. He's a black American. So just get that through your skull now. And speaking of Kofi Kingston, we need to start calling Kofi Kingston what he truly is. Kofi Kingston is from Africa. He was born in Ghana. That means he's not American. He was not born in America, right? If Kofi Kingston's certificate don't say born in New York, California, Georgia, Massachusetts, okay, Illinois, then the man is not American. He's Ghanaian, right? Matter of fact, let's look at Kofi Kingston's real name. I want y'all to type in Kofi Kingston. All right. This should tell you what he is, right? Let's look at Kofi Kingston. I'm gonna tell you where he's from, right? Let's look at his real name. I'm gonna read to you what his real name is. His birth name is Kofi Nahaji Sarkodie Mensah. Kofi Mensah. Mensah is the real last name, right? Born August 14, 1981. So he's 37 years old. Born in Kumasi, Ashanti, Ghana. So the man is Ghanaian, right? Residence Austin, Texas. Yeah, he's living out here, but that man was born in Ghana. We gotta stop. They need to say Kofi Kingston the first African champion. Because that's what he is. He's African. The man is not American. He's born in Africa. Right? He's an African American, not black American. Black is defined for people that looks like me and people like Booker T, The Rock, Ron Simmons, and even Mark Henry. Those are black Americans. Because that's how much of a problem we have with this country as far as race is concerned. So again, you people need to stop calling Kofi Kingston the first black WWE champion and start calling him the first African champion, the first Ghanaian champion, because that's what he is. He's from Ghana. He was not born in America, right? Therefore he's not black like that. There's another video I watching with someone. It was two brothers and a sister, right? One of the brothers said that the Kofi Kingston's parents, he can't be black because his parents were not slaves, which is true. Okay, when America thinks of people who are black, they think of people who were born into slavery, people who come from great grandparents who were slaves. All right, and they had a slave master. Johnson, the last name Johnson was given to the black man by the slave master in the plantation. That's why it was referred to a black man. Yeah, it's a Caucasian name, but it's also a black man's name. You ain't gonna never see no Mexican, no Asian, no Filipino, no Samoan. None of them gonna have the last name Johnson. All right. Again, you look at every black athlete that's around. Any black athlete, any black man whose last name, you look at most of the athletes. Any athletes who last name was Johnson were either black or they were white. Okay. So again, if The Rock only wanted to represent for a Samoan side, he would have kept the last name Avia. He would not have kept the last name Johnson. All right? So get that out the way now. Kofi is not like The Rock. Kofi was born in Africa. Whereas The Rock, Mark Henry, and Ron Simmons, they were all born in America. Okay? So get that out the way now. We need to start Kofi. Kofi Kingston is the first African champion. African WWE undisputed champion. He's the first African WWE World Heavyweight champion. Okay, the man is not a black American. Yeah, his skin color is black, but he's born in Africa, right? So again, man, let's just get that out the way. Kofi Kingston himself said that he's a WWE World Heavyweight Champion. All right. So again, we got to get that understanding now. Okay, y'all need to stop doing these YouTube videos saying there's no black WWE champions. Because again, Kofi Kingston is not the only black man that won a world title, right? Now I'm going to show you the first black World Heavyweight Champion, right? I'm going to show you who did this first before everybody else. This man here paved the way for somebody like Kofi Kingston, for The Rock, Mark Henry, Shelton Benjamin, all these other black wrestlers, right? I want you to look at Bobo Brazil. And again, I don't know if the camera's going to be able to show that. Yeah, the camera's not going to show it now, but I want you to look at Bobo Brazil. His real name is Houston Harris, was an American professional wrestler, better known by his ring name Bobo Brazil, credited with breaking down barriers of racial segregation in professional wrestling. Harris is considered the first successful African-American professional wrestler, right? This man was the first World Heavyweight Champion as a black man. So I want you to look at that, right? It says, early in his career, some wrestling promoters watched Brazil's matches against African-American wrestlers, including Ernie Ladd and Abdullah the Butcher. Fans clamored to see Brazil face opponents of any type. Brazil would have many matches with competitors such as Killer Kawasi, which is Triple H's trainer. The man who named Triple H to Cerebral Assassin was Killer Kawasi. He was also a World Heavyweight Champion. Dick the Bruiser, Johnny Valentine, the Sheik, right? The Iron Sheik, who feuded with Brazil over the course of several decades. These other rivals will all fall victim to Brazil's favorite mover, the Coco Butt. Brazil also wrestled Bill Miller to a draw and challenged Bruno Sammartino for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. So again, Worldwide Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, right? WWF came before the WWF, right? Now let's look at the W again, man. That's the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. So before the World Wrestling Federation was a company, it was called WWF, right? So again, man, and let's look at this. On October 18, 1962, Brazil made history becoming the first African American to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. So once again, we gotta stop acting like Kofi Kingston the first one to ever won a title, because now you have it. Bobo Brazil was the first ever black champion. He was the first ever black WWE World Heavyweight Champion, right? It wasn't Kofi Kingston. So again, man, that shows you there. And again, man, these are all links that you can look up, man. I'm on Google right now, and I'm showing you this. You can look at Wikipedia. You can look at all these links, right? And I'm gonna post them in the description. So once again, people, y'all need to this discussion's in it, right? Because again, I'm not following with this freaking program. I'm not gonna sit there and place Kofi Kingston on a high pedestal and act like he's the only wrestler to ever win a WWE belt. He's not. As far as the world title, because these championships are all considered world titles, right? He's not the first one, right? Yeah, Booker T said in that interview, Yeah, he says Kofi Kingston's the first black WWE champion, but he also said, are y'all happy now? Can we stop discussion? Booker T also said that it's not like he's the first one to do this. He's not, right? The problem with WWE right now is that you got writers that's doing these storylines who don't know what they're doing. They don't know their history at all. They're trying to erase certain paths, right? Because you can't say Kofi Kingston made this achievement and not give Mark Henry, Booker T, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and Bobo Zill and Ron Simmons they credit. When Bobo Zill and Ron Simmons won those World Heavyweight Championships, they did it in a time where there was not many black wrestlers that it is today. And let me also explain this too, right? The reason why Shelton Benjamin, Xavier Woods, okay, Bobby Lashley, Ron Killings, aka K-Quick, okay, Ahman Johnson, The Godfather, D'Lo Brown, David Ortega, you had Titus O'Neil. The reason why most of these guys, and even MVP himself, the reason why most of them haven't gotten neither title, the reason why none of them were WWE World Heavyweight Championships or WWE Undisputed Champions, because again, those guys were not The Rock, those guys were not Dwayne, those guys were not Martin Henry, Farouk, or Ron Simmons. Okay, they weren't Kofi Kingston. They're none of those guys, right? Most of these black wrestlers aren't popular enough. Their gimmicks are not working, right? They don't have a big enough fan base like those other wrestlers have. Again, the reason why Kofi Kingston's champion right now because it's easy to put a storyline behind him because again he's 11-year veteran, but again he's part of the New Day. The New Day is popular, okay? So again, to be champion, you have to have a storyline put around you, and none of those wrestlers have good storylines put around them at all. That's why it's hard for them to be champion. So again, y'all must understand that, right? Stone Cold Steve Austin even said in his own podcast, there's not that many black people who come into the wrestling company, you know what I'm saying, that chooses wrestling as their main sport. And I explained that in another video. So again, man, be happy that there's other world champions besides Kofi Kingston. No, Kofi Kingston's not the first WWE champion. He's not. Okay? I just proved to you that there was other black WWE champions before him. Alright? But anyways, man, I'm sorry the video took as long as it did. But again, I had to take y'all to church with this one, right? Because y'all got to have some respect. Have some respect for others that did it before you. Black people, y'all need to start paying homage. Okay? Y'all need to start paying respects to the ones who did it. Y'all need to do research, okay? Stop going on YouTube being spoon-fed this information. Because the people who came on YouTube, who doing these YouTube saying there was hardly no black WWE champions before Kofi Kingston, they are out of their line. They line out their rabbit-ass mind. They liars, okay? And again, I don't mean to use profanity, but I'm pissed off. I'm frustrated. I'm upset because y'all don't pay homage. Y'all don't give respects to others that did it before you. Okay? So no, man. Kofi Kingston himself knows that he was the first one to do this. Alright? So again, man, y'all need to give The Rock with the same respect. Again, there were other black WWE champions before Kofi came in. Okay? The only problem is most of these wrestlers ain't around. They became champions at different eras and different decades. Yeah, Kofi's the first one to do it out of this era. He's the first black WWE Undisputed champion with that title, but he's not the first overall. Okay? And if I wanted to, I could get me a petition going right now where I can change the wording of that. I could get a community, I could get others with me, and we could go in and we can change the wording and have everybody in one category. That's what it need to be. The people who won the World Heavyweight Championship need to go in the same category as the people who won the WWE title since it's the same belt. But anyway, folks, that's a video. Okay? I put an end to this conversation. I put an end to this debate. I don't want nobody ever coming on my video trying to tell me otherwise because I just proved to you that there were other black WWE champions before Kofi and that the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE title is unified. Right? Anyways, folks, that's the video, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay blessed. Stay tuned. I'll see you soon.